Hola, bienvenida y gracias por estar con nosotros. Para empezar, ¿nos puede decir su nombre y el nombre de su negocio?
Sí, buenas tardes, gracias por la invitación. Mi nombre es Marta Rubio, yo soy la dueña de Tacos Jalisco en Vallejo.
¿Nos puede contar un poco de su historia y de dónde es originalmente?
Yo soy originaria de Unión de Tula, Jalisco, México. Yo migré a la edad de 12 años a la ciudad de Los Ángeles con toda mi familia.
¿Cuándo abrió su negocio por primera vez y qué la inspiró a hacerlo aquí en Vallejo?
Bueno, yo empecé en Oakland y en una visita miré una gran oportunidad para establecer un restaurante aquí, porque miré que no había mucha comida mexicana. Me gustó y me inspiró y creí que era una buena oportunidad.
¿Cuándo abrió su negocio por primera vez?
Yo abrí en 1986, junio en 1986, exactamente hace 39 años.
¿Qué significa para usted ser una empresaria de negocio en Vallejo?
Para mí es un acto de amor, compromiso. No es fácil. Como en muchas ciudades pequeñas, a veces los recursos son limitados, pero hay tanto corazón. Aquí cada día me levanto sabiendo que mi negocio no solo sostiene a mi familia, también contribuye a la economía y cultura de la ciudad y es una forma de resistencia y esperanza.
¿Qué cambios ha visto en Vallejo a lo largo de los años?
Bueno, creo que Vallejo hemos pasado por muchos cambios. Yo vi cómo la ciudad sufrió económicamente, el impacto cuando cerraron Mare Island y cómo eso afectó a muchas familias. Pero también estoy viendo que poco a poco están tratando de recuperarse. Aún hay mucho por mejorar, hay más movimiento y esperanza que hace algunos años.
Hay algunas personas a las que usted esté agradecida por haberla apoyado desde el inicio de su camino con Tacos Jalisco.
Sí, definitivamente estoy agradecida con muchas personas que me apoyaron desde el inicio de Tacos Jalisco en los años 80 y 90. Los soldados de Mare Island fueron parte esencial de nuestro crecimiento. Muchos venían a comer casi a diario, eran como familia. Siempre mostraban respeto, cariño, lealtad y su presencia ayudó muchísimo a establecer el negocio. En los primeros años, también recuerdo con mucho cariño a Sisi Sebatia, que desde joven fue humilde y aunque se convirtió en una gran figura de béisbol, nunca se olvidó de dónde viene. Y claro, cuando él tiene la oportunidad de venir a Vallejo, siempre nos visita y para mí eso me da un inmenso orgullo.
¿Cómo puede la ciudad o la comunidad apoyar a negocios como el suyo?
Empezar con más seguridad y la comunidad simplemente elegir consumir en negocios pequeños y familiares.
¿Cuál fue la lección más grande que aprendió a manejar su negocio?
A tener paciencia. Al principio uno quiere que todo salga bien, perfecto, rápido, sin errores, pero los negocios no funcionan así. Aprendí que los fracasos son parte del cambio, que todo toma su tiempo.
¿Cuál ha sido el momento o momentos de mayor orgullo que ha tenido como dueña de Tacos Jalisco por tantos años?
Cuando los clientes me dicen, yo venía aquí de niño con mis papás y ahora traigo a mis hijos. Siento un orgullo enorme saber que Tacos Jalisco ha sido parte de generaciones y que sigue siendo un lugar especial para tantas familias y la comunidad. Ese es el verdadero éxito.
¿Puede describir Vallejo con solamente una palabra?
Diversidad.
Muchísimas gracias por su tiempo. Se le agradece mucho.
Gracias por la invitación.
I'm sitting here with two very, very, very special guests. I have Sarah Anders on my left side, who the world knows, right? I'm sure you've seen her on some Netflixes and some TV screens. And then I also have Janet Martinez Elliott, who we're going to hear a little bit more of who she is and what she represents today. Ladies, good afternoon, good evening. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So 707 week, right? Not only 707 week, Voices of Vallejo, Taco Tuesday and Talk. We're here in the city of Vallejo where you guys are residing, right? Highlighting the city. Can we briefly just kind of talk about 707 week and like what that represents to you guys?
707 week for me represents a celebration of the Solano County community, specifically honing in on Vallejo to do like the festivities and celebration of that. And Bay Area Cinema is doing a special show featuring local filmmakers from Vallejo and Solano County, showing films that will kind of highlight all the talent that's here in Vallejo.
Awesome.
Bay Area generally.
So we're gonna partner because I want to come back to that, right? But Sarah, I've had the pleasure of meeting this lady
Hey.
a couple months ago, and her energy is not only contagious, but it's also energetic. I mean, I just love your energy. But can you just talk a little bit about who you are and what you're doing here in the city of Vallejo?
What's up? Well, as you know, I am Sarah Anders, and I've truly my purpose is to uplift, to encourage, and to inspire. So thank you for that. I feel like I'm walking in my purpose, so it's all good. And I'm a filmmaker. I'm an actress. I'm just an overall activist, lover of human beings, and creator of community and space. So I'm blessed to live in the community of Vallejo. My father's from this community. My grandma's been in this community for almost 80 years. And so, I'm blessed to be a part of this community, blessed to give back to it. And I'm so excited about 707 week because it really is, it's almost just like a whole week family reunion. And we get to celebrate the diversity, we get to celebrate the culture, we get to celebrate the art, we get to celebrate the food. I'm sorry. Okay, I get so excited. I get so excited. It's like Sunday. I'm like, ooh. So yeah, I'm excited. Just once again, just to be a part of this community is a blessing. So I'm happy to give back through 707 week.
Yeah, so I definitely want to talk about the community a little bit, but before I do, you guys both have backgrounds in film and cinema. Can you talk a little bit about any current projects that you have, or any projects that you guys have been proud of to be a part of and representing Vallejo?
Well, I currently do Bay Area Cinema, which is a film festival for short films that celebrate diverse backgrounds and perspectives. So we lean in heavy with local filmmakers, but we opened it up to nationwide. So we create like a platform for film appreciation. We show animation, documentary, experimental, narrative, music videos. So all of those are welcome to be submitted for consideration to be in the show. And from those, we have different people. We do a Q&A with all the different people from the films, and it becomes a platform for people to network and to really come out and be part of the independent film world here in Vallejo.
Love it. I love it. And Sarah, a little bit more about your projects and or any upcoming projects.
Yeah, so I've had the pleasure of filming 2 short films here in Vallejo. One we are going to be showing during 707 week. I was the assistant director, the costumer, the producer, crafty. I mean, there was a lot of jobs I had on that short film. And another short film that I recently just got done writing, directing, and producing, executive producing on my own.
Let's go.
Well, thanks to the Vallejo Art Fund, and that's really how we kind of really connected and created more community between us as well. So shout out to the Vallejo Art Fund. But yeah, my film is called Holy Roller, and I'm super excited. It's based on a true story about when I found $10,000 cash in a nightclub. So this film is actually, it's taking a film circuit right now. It's on the film festival circuit, and I've gotten a lot of no's. And that has been a process within itself, right? I guess I'm the biggest optimistic filmmaker. I'm like, my first film is going to win an Oscar. Screw everyone. Like, it's going to be great. Like, it's going to win an Oscar. But I think you have to have that kind of energy to produce and write and direct a film on your own. And then, like, I don't think a lot of people talk about, like, the after you make the film, what happens, like, when you're at festivals and nobody wants to show it. So I'm kind of like there, but I'm not losing hope. I'm excited about the project still. I mean, Novi Brown from Tyler Perry Show Sisters, like, she plays me. That's not nothing. So I'm excited to see what the pivot is going to be in this film, because I know there's going to be a pivot, and I'm just gonna, sit back and see what God has in store, because that's all I can do.
Yeah. So how did you two connect?
So I asked, for the longest time, I was emceeing our events for Bay Area Cinema, and I'm kind of stepping back from that role because I'm pivoting in a way myself. I'm going to go back to school to be a therapist. So, first generation, I go to college in my family, so I'm very proud of that. But
applaud that.
so going to grad school is important to me, and but I decided I still want to do Bay Area cinema, but I kind of want to just stick to curating the shows, and I thought, well, who can I partner up with who would be an asset to Bay Area cinema? It's a big part of the Vallejo community, and also someone who's enthusiastic about film like I am. And naturally, I thought of Sarah. Yeah.
I love it. I love
Thanks
it.
for thinking of me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And she said yes, which I was super excited
Yes.
about.
And makes perfect sense for her to receive so many no's, for her to say yes. And I
Yes.
think that understanding the power behind the yes, right, when you're connected to someone who has passion, has vision, and similar values. So, no, that's awesome. And so you're not from Vallejo.
I'm originally from the East Coast,
Okay.
but I moved to Vallejo in 2016.
Okay.
So I've been here for a minute.
Okay.
So
What part of the East Coast?
well, I moved around. I was born in New Jersey, lived in Connecticut for a little while, and then moved to Miami, and then moved back up and back and forth a little bit because my parents were divorced, and so we did that for a little bit, and two, I lived in all the large Cuban communities. I'm Cuban American, so my parents were immigrants. My mother came over from Cuba when she was 9, and she grew up in the Bronx in New York. And my dad came over when he was 16 with Operation Pedro Pan, and he graduated high school in Montana, and then moved out to New York City. That's where my parents met and got married. But yeah, so I've just been part of the Vallejo community, part of the art scene here. It has a very vibrant art scene, Vallejo. A lot of different artists, lots of things going on constantly, like Mare Island Art Studios. The Artisan does stuff. They're going to be doing a show for a month-long show. They have a fashion show. They have a market. They have just so many different things going on, and they've been a big part of the art community too. And I also volunteer for the Art Walk committee here in Vallejo, so the Vallejo Art Walk. So I got my hands in a couple different things.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people that I've been recently connected with folks from Vallejo, seem to have their hands connected in so many things.
Yeah.
But before I transition to my next question, Sarah, are you born and raised Vallejo?
I am not. So I am not born and raised in Vallejo. I was born and raised in Oregon, in a very small town in Oregon. I actually, I didn't meet another Black person until I was 10 years old. So one of the things I love about Vallejo is the diversity here in Vallejo, the culture, the food. Sitting here at Tacos Jalisco, right? And like having real, authentic, indigenous, amazing food. So yeah, no, my father is from here though. And so his parents, they came from the South when they were younger. So like I said, my grandma's been in Vallejo for almost 80 years in the same city. So yeah, definitely deeply rooted, but not born and raised.
Gotcha. So I'm actually, for this particular interview, I'm glad that neither one of you guys are from Vallejo, right? So I'm from Philly. I'm from the East Coast as well. And so recently made a commitment to raise my family in Solano County. And so being in the arts and creative background for you two, what do you see? What are some things that you can see instilling in the community for folks who are, for a specific example, the younger generation, right? So the younger generation, there's a lot of talent there, right? But they may not know about the resources. They may not be exposed to or feel that they're not exposed to the resources. What are some things that you two can bring to the city of Vallejo to kind of bridge that gap a little bit?
Well, Bay Area Cinema is a free event that we put on for the Vallejo community and neighboring cities. Like I also advertise in Solano County generally, and so I put the word out in a lot of different places. So it brings in a lot of people. So it's a great networking opportunity. And like I said before, it's a great way to get a general appreciation for the different film forms of art that there are. So if one style doesn't resonate with you, maybe another style might, and that might inspire you to create cinema. Like a lot of people would have never seen an experimental film. That's a whole genre in and of itself. So, and I used to make experimental films, and I always wanted a place to show my stuff. So it was kind of like a personal thing that I wanted to create something for the community where people could share their film work and film art and their passion for film and inspire others to make films.
I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
And we graciously accept donations. You know, this is a totally volunteer thing that we do. We don't make money from it really, but we have to pay for advertising. We have to. We do get certain things donated to us because people are very kind to us and like what we're doing, but still like there's still bills, you know.
I hear you.
So
So if someone wants to donate, where can they donate to?
they can donate at the door. We graciously accept donations at the door. The door opens at 6:30. So when you come in, like I said, the event is free. So if you don't have money or you feel like it'd be a hardship to pay, you don't have to pay. But if you can't spare a few bucks, then we gladly accept it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so Sarah, you've been a part of 707 committee, like the planning, the organization, the execution. And so we're
Not really. No, I kind of came in on the back end. Like
Okay, so
seven. It's been happening for like over a year. That's what a lot of people don't know.
no,
that.
I meant for this particular week. So you've been a part of like the execution of like the Sunday event.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And so there's
yeah.
a list of events that are going on this week. What are some of the things that folks in the city of Vallejo can look forward to coming out to the remainder of the week?
Yes. So on Wednesday tomorrow, we have Supervisor Cassandra James and our councilwoman, Dr. Tanya Letaju. She is doing. They're doing a talk at the Naval Museum, where the Vallejo Museum is what they're calling it now. So the Vallejo Museum, that's tomorrow. We also have Sarah's Playhouse. So that's my gift to the community. And Sarah's Playhouse it's game night. It's a free game night. Usually it's bring your kids. But for 707 week, I just feel like us adults need to have some fun. So it's 21 and over. We're going to have some little drinky drinks as well. And we'll have like Trouble and Battleship and Dominoes and a bunch of fun games that we'll have there. This is also hosted by King's Events. So shout out to King's Events. Shout out to Lee for just allowing us to utilize this amazing space. It's at 537 Georgia Street, right downtown in Vallejo. And on Thursday, we'll be at the Seaweed Game. We have TJ Starr singing the national anthem. There's also the college and career fair. I believe that's on Thursday as well. And then we're partnering. I'll let you talk about Friday. I'm not going to talk. We're going to let Jana talk about Friday. And then on Saturday, we're partnering with Second Saturdays. So everybody will meet you down at the waterfront on Saturday. And there'll be music and vendors. And then on Saturday night, there's a party at Bambino's. So Bambino's is going to be a little adult club as well. So shout out to Bambino's. And on Sunday, look, hope y'all are ready. And on Sunday, we have Books and Brunch. So with Kyria, and that is going to be a serious situation with all the Vallejo authors and stuff. So there's a lot. And I'll let Janet tell us about Friday.
Yes, yes.
So Friday night at 6:30, like I mentioned, we're going to have the Bay Area Cinema at 332 Georgia Street. And the inside of that building is beautiful. The architecture is just gorgeous. And I try to set it up so there's a little bit of a ambiance, and I try to make it an intimate space. And then we also have a concession stand, and we sell like affordable snacks for people to have. So it's a theater that pops up for one evening and then it gets taken down the very same night. So it's a unique experience that I think a lot of people would enjoy.
So here's my last question. We are in the city of Vallejo at Taco Jalisco. How's the food here?
Oh man, they've got the best shrimp burritos.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here for the green sauce, and also the veggie tacos are bomb diggity.
Got you. The reason why I asked, I've been hearing about this restaurant for probably the last 6 months. And so now this is my first time actually coming through the doors. And so I look forward to enjoying the food here. But
Yeah.
as we wrap up, are there any last minute thoughts as we close out the interview?
My husband loves the vegetarian burritos too. I need to add that.
Shout out to the hubby.
Yeah. And David Elliott also helps me put together Bay Area Cinema. He's a big part of it. So.
And I wanted to shout out Arshay Miles for just bringing the vision to life, and Supervisor Cassandra James for really taking it to the next level, making a proclamation and having it like really be a thing. So shout out to them. And 707 Week has been fun so far, and I can't wait for the other events.
Absolutely. And I just want to shout out to everyone that has a part in their hand involved in the 707 Week. I mean, it has been amazing just to kind of be from the outside, standing and looking at and seeing the execution be executed. But it's been an absolute pleasure connecting with you guys. I look forward to hearing more of your story and seeing what you do here in the city of Vallejo and beyond. So, ladies, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, we're going to take a break real quick. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned because we have a lineup of individuals that have amazing stories representing the city of Vallejo. What's going on, guys? Hey, we are back here at the city of Vallejo, at Taco Jalisco's Vallejo. I have another special, very special guest that I had the opportunity to connect with very briefly. But name is Marcellus of Vallejo Run Club. We were just talking about family as being fathers. But I have a question for you. So you were born and raised Vallejo.
Yes, that's
All
correct.
right.
Yeah.
So talk to me about. So I'm not from Vallejo, but talk to me about how has it been for you being born and raised in this city, and then what do you want to see? What do you want the city to look like in the next 5, 10 years, based off of what you're doing?
Based off what I'm doing is, I want to see more runners run in Vallejo. I want to feel like if this was San Francisco, you just see runners everywhere running. I want to see a more healthy community for adults and little kids, because that's what my run club promotes is just mental health and just staying healthy and active. And because we're here for a short time, so you might as well be in the best shape that you can and give it be in a positive community.
So what was it that inspired you to start the Run Club? Here in the city of Vallejo.
So I've been running for a while, and then I would just run the streets of Vallejo by myself, and then I ended up eventually getting one of my friends to run with me. And then I was like, after that, I was like, if I get him to run with me, I can get anybody to run with me. So, and then also I just wanted to have a safe place for people to come to in Vallejo because Vallejo has a bad reputation for being bad. And I've never got, in any trouble running the street. So, I wanted to show everyone else they could do that. And so far, we're going strong almost 3 years.
Oh, nice! Congratulations.
Thank you.
So with that, so you've been going strong for 3 years. Vallejo Run Club. It sounds like it would inspired to have a safe space for individuals, mental health. With all of that said, I know you were talking about it. You have both a youth run club and also an adult run club.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
So the youth run club is typically just in the summertime when kids are on vacation. They parents probably get tired of them being in the house all day. So we give a safe space for kids to come run and just let out all the energy. Every Tuesday at 6 o'clock at the waterfront, and then the adults we run Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays. And it's just to build a family-based community and and be there for one each other and support us and because running is hard and life's hard. So if you have a community that's is there for you guys, then
Right.
that's what it is.
So there's a lot of life that happens to folks. Like I'm originally from Philly, and I hear a lot of similar stories that happen in inner cities that also are very like kind of happen here in Vallejo. Like with your run club and kind of wanting to bridge that gap. Like, what is the city of Vallejo like being raised here and creating a run club? Like, what does the city of Vallejo mean to you?
It means everything to me. I give back. I coach, little league. I coach PAL soccer. I teach in the elementary school that I went to. So, I'm Vallejo through and through, and I just want to bring the positivity back to Vallejo, and hopefully, my run club shows that, and and then just letting everybody know Vallejo is not as bad as everyone thinks it is.
No, absolutely. So, with what are some upcoming, either events that you're a part of or that you're putting on that folks from the city of Vallejo and or Solano County could come and be a part of it?
We host runs every week. Like I said, Mondays at 6:15, we meet on Mare Island at Quarters Coffee. Wednesdays, we meet at 6:15 at the waterfront right in front of the coffee shop. And on Saturdays at 8 a.m. At the coffee shop at the waterfront. Everyone's welcome. We don't leave no runner behind. So no matter how fast you are, how slow you are, if you just want to party while you run, we do it all, man. We don't leave nobody behind.
So you're saying what I hear is that if I've been wanting to join a run club, but I'm not athletic, I haven't ran in years, Vallejo Run Club is a space where I can come, not be judged, and be a part of that run club.
Oh yeah, for sure. I had a couple people come out barely run a mile at first, and now they're signing up for races because it's fun. They said they could never do it until they started running with us, and I hope to keep building that and keep bringing people out there and encouraging them, and just get out there and have fun.
Yeah. So how many when you first started 3 years ago? How many folks was a part of the run club, and then what did it grow into today?
It started with 4 people, including myself. And then so far, we probably have I would say maybe over 100 active runners. Not all at once on every run, but overall. And it's grown a lot, especially with the Little Kids Run Club. Hopefully, I grow that a lot more, and eventually, we're gonna try to create our own run. Like for the city of Vallejo, and then just bring everyone closer together through running.
Nice. So when you heard about 707 week, what was the first couple of thoughts that popped in your head?
It's nice that Vallejo has something nice that they're doing, and just happy that our run club could be a part of it, and just to let people know that I'm gonna be the mayor of Vallejo one day.
Oh, okay.
So,
I love it. I love it. I love it. So as we wrap up, any last minute thoughts or comments or feedback, that you want to share, whether it's based off of Vallejo Run Club or just the city of Vallejo in general?
just like the Vallejo Run Club, everybody in Vallejo is welcome in here. We're no one's bad. We're all good people. Whatever you do, just have fun at Vallejo.
I love it. I love it. Marcellus from Vallejo Run Club, I appreciate you sharing a little bit of your story before we started recording, but just sharing a little bit more of like what Vallejo really means to you and how the Vallejo Run Club is impacting the community here and how people can actually join.
Right on, man. I appreciate it.
Likewise, man. All right. Appreciate you. We'll be right back to everyone that's live. Give us a few minutes. We have a couple folks that we're interviewing here, and we'll see y'all soon. The good energy just continues to keep rolling here in Vallejo at Taco Jalisco's here in Vallejo, California. Very, very, very special guest. I've seen this gentleman on Instagram, and my family, we're fans of the restaurant. But anyway, with that all being said, Toby Taye?
Yes, sir.
Toby Taye, owner of Sharky's
Chicken and Fish.
Sharky's Chicken and Fish.
That's right. Where you treat yourself and never cheat yourself.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, so can you say that again with the microphone? I don't know the fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sharky's where you treat yourself and never cheat yourself.
I love it. I
Yes,
love
sir.
it. I love the slogans. So you have been in the community here of Vallejo for a long time.
Oh yeah, 30 plus years.
Got you. So from you have not only are you have been here for 30 plus years, you have a business in Vallejo.
Absolutely.
Well, you have businesses in Solano County, but specifically Vallejo. What was it like, 20 years ago that inspired you to actually want to start a business in the city of Vallejo?
Well, it's funny that you say 20 years ago, because 20 years ago was right around the time when I stopped doing my mobile auto body business that was here in Vallejo and started doing back restaurant work. I started working with JJ's and helped open up several of their locations, and actually was the manager here in Vallejo.
Okay.
And that's what made me want to get back into the food game. And of course, and it's in my roots. My grandmother's been doing this forever. And I just had to go back to what I know, and it was easy to do that. And God put me in the path to be able to grind and do that for, 12, 13 years, and had the opportunity to jump and do it myself.
I love it. So 20 years ago, that was kind of where your mindset was at. It sounds like you've been an integral part of the community. I know the folks in Vallejo love your restaurant because like I said, I always see it all over social media. So what does the city of Vallejo mean to you, being here for so long, having a business in Vallejo? Like, what is that like the essence of Vallejo?
It's home. It's home to me. That's why it was very, very, very important for me to open up Sharky's here in Vallejo. My first location was in Vacaville, but the first opportunity that I got, I jumped on. And 2 years ago, I opened up Sharky's Vallejo. And it's been challenging, but of course, when you have your own business, it's not easy.
Right.
You got to grind, you got to get up early, you got to work late.
Right.
So, we're ready for the grind.
Yeah.
We've been doing this.
I love it. I was just about to ask you about the challenges. So I hear the restaurant business is one of the hardest businesses to be in.
Yes.
Right. And so not only one of the hardest businesses to be in, the question that I have is, what challenges have you faced being a business owner in the city of Vallejo?
The biggest challenges that I've gotten is actually let me think about that for a second. I mean, there's a couple of different challenges. The very first challenge that I had opening up my location in Vallejo, we had about 350, 400 people living in the parking lot. We all know that, homelessness is a big problem, unfortunately. And we had to work really hard to help get that taken care of. That was, and that's also another big, huge challenge that we have right now at the Vallejo location. We've cleaned it up quite a bit, and we spent a lot of money trying to update the lighting and everything. And believe it or not, about 3 weeks ago, somebody came over there and took all the wiring out of all the lights. They did the same thing over at Walmart too, But, I'm, not to get political, but I just hope that the new people that was hired to the police force would actually help try to enforce,
Right.
Instead of, maybe just driving around. I don't know.
Yeah.
God bless everybody.
No, I definitely hear you. When it comes to some of the challenges. So as a business owner, there are other business owners here in Vallejo.
Yes.
So what are some things that you would like to see, yourself and other business owners be able to collaborate on? Are there any specific projects?
Yes.
Or do you have any ideas that you would like to just kind of throw out of what you would like to see?
Well, through Sharkey's Family Foundation, which is my nonprofit, for the last couple of years, we've been linking up a lot. Everybody that you see here, we've been doing a lot of charitable contributions, a lot of food distributions. We did a huge Christmas giveaway. It was all, it's happening. It's happening organically and grassroots, and I just want to keep seeing us moving forward together, because together we're one,
Absolutely.
Separated, we can't do nothing.
Yeah, there's this saying that says collaboration saves nations.
Yes.
Right?
I like
So and that's, again, I don't spend a lot of time or have not spent a lot of time in Vallejo, but more and more I'm meeting more individuals that I see that have the passion and desire for change. And I can stand alongside individuals like that, right?
Yes.
I can stand alongside of leaders
Yes.
that are wanting to push change and don't mind coloring outside the lines.
Yes.
Right. And so I'm excited for, what's to come to the city of Vallejo. Speaking of things to come, so the Super Bowl is coming to back to California.
I'm excited.
Right. And
Yeah.
so we've been having some planning committee meetings about bringing some of those events to this direction, Vallejo, the Fairfield, so essentially Solano County.
Praise God.
What would you, so as a business owner, is that important to you? And then if so, why?
Absolutely. I mean, it would definitely be important to be a part of that, first of all. Not just to be a part of the Super Bowl, but, it being on the other side of the bridge, unfortunately, us being in the Bay, but we're on the other side of the bridge, a lot of things we kind of get left out. You know what I mean? So it would be definitely be a beautiful thing to be included. And also it would bring business. I mean, it would bring business up. I mean, business is down. I don't care what anybody says. Right. Business is down everywhere, And we try hard to do different incentives. I put a $10 plate in there. I mean, we could only go down so low.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
And I try. I give everybody.
You still have to pay the bills.
You got to still pay the bills. But that's why I think we just got to keep moving forward, keep staying together, and keep pushing forward for the greater good.
Right. No, I've been consistently hearing that message about folks in Vallejo wanting to come together, for the good. And so my hope, again, I'm not from here, but my hope is to see a lot of the talk be executed.
Yes.
Right. And I think that's important. Like, so many people come together with good ideas, but they lack the execution.
I think that my main goal and my biggest vision that I think would work is if we will all have a center, a place where we can have a home base, where everybody has their offices, where it's all inclusive. We have a big round table there, and everything happens there. You have programs there for the kids. You have programs there for the elderly. You have initiatives there to help the homeless. We're going to need so much, man. The big, beautiful bill that went through right now. Right. I mean, it's going to be very traumatic what we're getting ready to see, man. It's not going to be good.
Right. Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got to stick together now more than ever.
I was just about to transition and say that. I think that it's important for folks who have a voice, folks that are in leadership positions or aspiring leaders, need to come to the table and share their voice, right? And again, not just have the talk, but the action behind the talk.
Absolutely.
And so, because it seems to be, from the outside looking, it seems to be so many people who have that desire for change, but it's different folks who's going to step up for the change.
That part.
So,
yes, sir.
I'm excited to see what you and your team do. And you said you have the foundation as well,
yeah,
right?
Sharkey's Family Foundation.
Gotcha.
We've had our 501c3 now for about a year and a half. Okay. I'm also the secretary treasurer of Project Kicks. We've been doing several initiatives here in California and in Vallejo, particularly for the last 12 years.
Wow.
And nationwide and internationally.
That's awesome.
So it's huge. Absolutely.
That's awesome. So as we wrap up, I definitely look forward to connecting with you more. But as we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts? If you were, as a business owner, being here the last 30 years, if you could talk to the next generation, right? Some who may be aspiring to be business owners, some may never want to leave the city of Vallejo because they just love it. What's something that you would share to that individual?
What I would share to that individual is do do with what you know that you're good at and stick with it. Don't give up, even when it's hard. When you think that you can't keep on going, just keep going, because as long as you stick through it, by the time you get to the end, man, it's just going to open up a lot more doors, and you're going to just keep moving in that same motion, and you're going to have motion.
I love it.
I
love it.
Consistency is the key. Stay positive and not, just don't waver.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And so if I am driving through Vallejo, if I'm in the city of Vallejo, where can I find your location?
Okay, man. Sharky's Chicken and Fish. Just 2 doors down from Starbread. Do I need to say anything more?
I think
Look. Right? Across the street from Bud's Burgers. 3730 Sonoma Boulevard, Vallejo, California, 94589.
I love it.
We praise God Almighty.
Toby, I appreciate
you, brother. Thank you for letting me come.
Absolutely.
I appreciate being a part of it.
Yes.
707 all day and night, baby.
Yes. And shout out to Taco Jalisco.
Tacos Jalisco, man. I've been coming here for the last 18 years, man.
Yes.
I drink the green sauce.
I keep hearing about this green sauce.
Man,
I gotta check it out.
Man.
I gotta check it out. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Yes, Lord.
We have another powerful lineup coming up soon. We'll see y'all.
You got one of these? Scan this one. There you go. And then just
We are back in Vallejo, California at Voices of Vallejo, Taco Tuesday and Talk. Here in Vallejo, California, I'm excited because to my left, I have two beautiful and amazing women. As you know, Cassandra James, everyone knows her. I've been saying her name wrong for the last year, but I'm going to just blame it on my Philadelphia accent. And so, yeah, ladies. Good evening. And how you guys feeling today? And so we have Sophie and Miss James. So Sophie, how you doing?
I'm feeling great. I'm excited to be here. Super happy to be here talking with you. And yeah.
Awesome.
I'm excited. I'm always excited to be in community. It's always amazing when you can recharge your battery. Being in community, being with people that have the same like lived experience as you. And we're in one of my favorite taco places too. So Taco Jalisco. I was just here on on Sunday, excuse me, and I got me a steak burrito. So like this is like a home away from home.
Got you. I love it. I've been silently interviewing folks, asking them questions about the menu without asking them about the menu. So I'm looking forward to kind of like chiming in here because I've been hearing a lot of great things about the food here. So have you eaten here before?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Definitely burritos my go-to. Steak burritos my go-to.
Steak burrito. I love it. I'm going to have to try that out. So love the hat. Sophie, I have a question for you.
Yes.
707 Day. When you first heard about the vision, the idea, what were some of the thoughts that ran through your mind?
I was hyped. I was like, we need better things here in Vallejo. Like, it's such a rich city full of people, love, and community. It's like, we gotta have something. Like, it's just, there's always something going on, but something as big as this, where it's like, we all can come together for a whole week. That's dope.
That is dope. That is really dope. So, Cassandra, I have a question for you. How did you connect with Sophie? And, you guys are like partners in a sense. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so Sophie is a part of our inaugural summer internship that we offered through our office. And this was in partnership with Center for Urban Excellence, who offered a paid internship for two of our interns. And prior to that, Sophie is an amazing youth advocate and activist in the community, always wanting to learn about what can they do, what can the city do for youth and community. So I've seen her at different city council meetings, at school board meetings, and we've been able to connect. And then also open secret is her mom, Yoritzi Yocabo Martinez, is my district rep as well.
Awesome.
And we graduated from the Parent Leadership Training Institute. So they have known me since I think it's been 4 years because the baby was my youngest was around 1 at that time, and he's now 5.
One of the things that I will say that I appreciate about you is that you live, breathe, and are the essence of community. And I genuinely mean that because every time I've had the opportunity to either be in the same room as you or hear your name or someone sharing your, wanting to support you, it's always tied into how do we make the community better. All right, so to have someone like Sophie to be a part of that is amazing. And so one of the questions that I have, so I'm originally from Philly, right? Inner city kid, have similar challenges like the city of Vallejo. So from your perspective, what do you see the future of Vallejo looking like?
So I feel like lately there's been a lot of us have woken up in a way. A lot of us, the youth, we've really woken up and we've realized that this is our city, this is our home. It got so much potential. We gotta do something about it. So I can only speak for myself.
Absolutely.
I'm involved in all these things because I see the potential of this community. I see the potential of the city. I love supervisor right here. She has helped me really get up. She's helped me get my name out there. She's helped me learn so many things. It's I know that when it's my turn, I know I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm gonna be volunteering. I might be working for the city, the county.
Or you might own it. No,
or maybe even the country. I don't
Absolutely.
know. Of course, it's these standards and these hopes I have that, to me, I definitely see Vallejo coming up. Definitely.
Do you care to share a few of the ideas that you do have, as far as like to improve the city of Vallejo, or things that you would like to see other youth come together to help, the city of Vallejo become that thing?
I think the first step is coming together as a community. Mental health is important, especially as youth. Normally, before it was really normalized to shut your feelings out, but I think nowadays we're more woke. We're more like open about it. We're like, we gotta open up. That's the first step. Now our second step would be coming together. Now I know there's a lot of cons that Vallejo has. Housing would be one of them. Our homelessness, our substance abuse, as well as our public safety are really big issues in our community. But I really, really, really believe that when we come together and we become one, all those problems go away, 100%.
Yeah. Before I transition to a question for you, I want to say this. Number one, on behalf of my whole team, we salute you for the vision and the passion that you already have. Like, you, just kind of hearing you speak for the last couple of minutes, like, you have so much greatness in you. And one of the things that I've noticed, and just people who have a desire for change, is that we have ideas. The thing that most people lack is the practical principles, or how can I execute these practical principles? And you just gave a couple steps, right, already today on what we could do as a city, and not only just coming together, but also what step 1, 2, and 3 looks like, so that we can move closer to the end goal. So, my hope is that you continue to keep that in the forefront and you lead with passion, because I think you got a good one here. That's awesome. And so I know you have a passion for youth, right? What are some of the things that you are sharing to some of the youth in Vallejo, and or some of the youth who may have not heard your voice yet? What are some of the things that you would like to share with them, or that you're, like I said, what you're saying to them already?
No, that's a good question. I always go back to, like, I grew up in San Francisco, also some inner city, but I also know the shoulders that I stand on. Like beforehand, I told you my grandfather's from Philly. My grandmother is from Mississippi. So I was raised in a household at the intersection of NWA and Billie Holiday. So, so the youth, today for me is always watering. They're the seeds, and we're watering the seeds. We're watering the plant. If we see the progress or not, we are looking at the progress as they go through their trials and tribulations, and as they continue to move forward. The thing is, when we're talking about inner city youth, or when we're talking about youth that lives in environments similar to ours, it's more or less around giving them the audacity to wanting to be in rooms, because there are a lot of mediocre people who have the audacity just to be there, but they don't have the greatness. And a lot of our kids have the greatness, but they don't have the audacity. So it's really making sure that youth like Sophie, youth like my sons, like your kids, have the confidence and the audacity and the network to be able to get in and out of these rooms, so that way their dreams can thrive, and they can really grow from the seeds that we plant. And then the youth, everything is not always boring. So I remember campaigning for this seat. They often laughed at me because I was like, one of my favorite philosophers is the Loonies. Okay. And I was like, do you got 5 on it? You got 5 on this, or you got 5 on that? But do you have 5 on making change in your community? And I think it's really important for our youth to understand that if we want to see change, we have to participate in the greater system. And it's not always, and I understand, like, growing up, I did not see many people that looked like me in these seats. I didn't see many people that looked like me as a CEO, etc. But I knew that if I wanted the system to change, if I wanted my community to be better, then we would need to infiltrate those very systems and institutions in order to change it and bring people along with us and not gatekeep.
So, we're talking about Voices of Vallejo. I could listen to Cassandra talk all day. Like, when she starts getting her zone, she's there. And something that I've seen in the last, I think I've known her for about a year. I won't say known her. I've kind of been in some of the rooms that she spoke at over the last year, is the consistency, right? And so let me ask you a question. What are some of the qualities as a woman, right? What are some of the qualities that stand out to the women that stand alongside you? You know, shout out to mom too as well. I had the opportunity to meet her. But what are some of the qualities that actually stand out to you? That you're like, these are some of the qualities that I want to not only just have, but are like firm. And these are the things that are tied to my values.
I definitely, my mom is a strong woman. My mom is really straightforward. So when I am sitting with Cassandra, with the supervisor, it's like I see my mom in the way. Like she's straightforward. She knows what she wants, and that's what I believe makes a woman a strong woman. She knows what she's there for. She always got something to say. You can't catch her off guard, and she gonna know what to say directly. You know, so it's like she knows what she's talking about. It's not just talking like, and I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. She works hard. And that to me, as somebody who lives in Vallejo, I guess you could say Vallejoan, as someone who lives in Vallejo, that means a lot to me. Because not only am I an intern for her, she's like family to me. So to see her so dedicated to our community, it's really inspiring. Really a role model to me, seriously. Yeah, and like she said, you don't really see people of color sitting up there. You don't see somebody with a different skin tone or a different type of hair be sitting up in the chair like that. So when I see somebody like that, it's like I want to be like her, or I want to do what she's doing. I want to make an impact on my people, my community, the way she is. Because she's not just looking out for herself; she's looking out for all of us. Vallejo is one of the most diverse cities in the country, and she knows that and she recognizes it, and she doesn't just think about this race or that race. Like she's thinking about all of us as a whole. So to me, those are really big values. That's what makes a leader a good leader.
I love it. I love it. I could talk to you guys all day. I really could. So 707 week, Vallejo, California. So there's a list of events going on. What do you guys want to get out of this? Like, so right now there's a lot of momentum, right? And so next week is going to end, right? And so like, what do you guys hope to get out of this series of events that are happening here in the city of Vallejo?
I'm really, really looking to meet new people, connect with more people. These are people I see on a regular basis. All these people, I see them in the street. Oh, what's up? How you doing? Like, it's just that family connection that's just being built up just for seeing you one day, 2 days, or even the whole week. Like, I see you and I'm gonna dab you up or I'm gonna give you a hug. Like, that's
I'm gonna remember that.
That's community. No, well, yeah, that's community right there. That's what family is all about. Like I don't gotta know you 100%. If I see you in the street, I'm gonna dab you up. I'm gonna give you a high five. Like, oh, what's up? How you doing, man? Like, it's that connection that you make that it's like more events come out of this. It's like, okay, we already had a series of events. We're gonna have an art student event. We're gonna be going to the museum tomorrow. It's like, let's do something out of that next year or next week. Like, it's just all these things that come out of it. It's like a tree, like just roots.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And the spirit of the 707 doesn't end with 1 week. The spirit of 707 is all year long. And again, like I always go back to my roots. Growing up in the city, every year we celebrate 415 Day. And you on April 15th every year, you will hear me slapping the hip hop from the city rappers. One of my favorite, 11-5, Big Mac. So, and it was about the resiliency of community. We see the same thing in Oakland with 510 Day. So every May 10th, they gather at Lake Merritt to show the resiliency of community. And I think the beauty of 707 and being intentional and starting it in Vallejo is Solano County is the most affordable county in the Bay Area for anyone to build generational wealth. Vallejo is the last city with a waterfront, a large waterfront, for people to be able to buy a home and build wealth here. And in the 707 in the Bay Area, it's really our proximity to the core Bay Area and saying that gems and diamonds come out of this beautiful area. Everybody always not, I'm going to die on this hill. Every time, front row 40. Front row 40, the ambassador of the Bay, born and raised in South Vallejo. So, and that's very important for people to know. Like NASCAR driver Jeff Gordon, born and raised in Vallejo. They just celebrated Mac Dre Day in the city, born and raised in the Crest. So it's really important for when we're talking about the 707. Yeah, this is about community resiliency. Yes, it's about connecting people who may have never talked to each other before, about people, a family reunion at the same time. But it's also about the economic driver too, and starting this economic engine for a county and a city that is resource poor. And with this, we are the only, I would say this proudly, area code that can celebrate all month long. In July, the 7th month of the year. Let's say it backwards, let's say it forwards, the 707. So with this week, this came out of Shay. Miles came and it was like, hey, are you interested? And it was like, I'm down for this. And I think I was like, can we do a month? And she was like, no, girl, let's roll this back. And I'm like, okay. But this week is to demonstrate the resiliency of community. This was put together with no funds. And I want to be like really clear about that. This was put together with love and compassion, and a strong desire to see the community change and be not only change but be highlighted. So, and we're all raising families here. We all want to see like our Sophies go off and do great things and come back and contribute to this area. So, and this is what this week is about specifically.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, shout out to Shay and Essence. We had Shay on one of the Friday lives a couple weeks ago, and she was talking about 707 week and 707 day. And one of the things, like I could see in her face when she mentioned your name, like there was so much, not just emotion, but so much passion behind her words and her talking about how quickly you supported the vision, right? And, you guys that talked about community, how important that is. And so to see so many business owners, community members, activists, volunteers come together with no funding to be able to execute these series of events, and not, just to highlight events, but to have that economic impact. And I think that one of the things that I wish that I could have understood or learned back in Philly, being a youth, is the driver behind economic impact, right? The things that can happen when you focus on putting a team together that not just have passion, but they have that drive to change, because of the greater impacts of not just the next generation, but the generations to come. And so if I could share a piece of, not even advice, if I could share something with you, it would be that, like, as you have these powerful women around you, is to pick their minds when it comes to how the economy impacts A through Z, right? And so, but my last,
if I could challenge that real quick,
absolutely.
Not just powerful women, but powerful men. This is a powerful village that we have. Men, women, and the magic in between. Like, this is a powerful village, and we are here to be the safety net. So it's like, I want you to fail. I always say fail forward. That means learn fast. And if you make a mistake, you have this village, Glenn, myself, Tony, whomever, here to be able to catch you, be that safety net, and then push you back out, so that way you could be great. Absolutely. So like, it's amazing to be around powerful women. Our family is filled with women who are just loud and powerful and strong and resilient. But it's also amazing when resting can be a resistance, and having the men and our magic in between there to support us. So, and this is what this community is made of. So I just wanted
I love it. So, question for you: if you had one question to ask Cassandra James, what question would you ask her? I know you're around her, but like today, what question would you ask her?
That's a good one. Like you say, I see her almost every day. If I could ask you one question, which I am asking it now, how do you overcome your bad days? How do you get back up? I know as a representative, you may face a lot of criticism, you know, either it's constructive criticism or bad criticism. I want to know, how do you overcome that? How are you able to get back up and be able to know what to say every single time?
That's a good question, and I know crash out ain't an acceptable answer. But seriously, it is me. Again, it's always about past, present, and future. So I want to acknowledge my ancestors because I literally am living their wildest dreams. And I've been able, or my family's been able to pinpoint the plantation where my ancestors once worked the land. And knowing that they've been there generations and didn't even think that they could even be free. So understanding that, and then with the present, recently, like my grandmother transitioned, but she came from Mississippi to escape racial oppression and economic racial violence and economic oppression. And I don't want her sacrifice to go in vain. And like when she passed, like the one thing she said was like, "I'm so proud of you." So, and I don't want to let her fail. I don't want that. Didn't mean to get emotional. And also the future. It's looking at you. It's looking at my sons. It's looking at our kids and saying, what am I going to leave y'all? I have to be responsible. What are the sacrifices I'm making now? Just like how my ancestors made their sacrifices, like my grandmother made her sacrifices. What are the sacrifices I'm making in order for you not to have to go through what we're going through now, right? And being able to pass you the baton to where the work is still going to be heavy, but your load is going to be a lot lighter. And that's what helps me get past like those days in the office, because I'll promise y'all it'll be like a gummy bear day. Besides me eating a pack of gummy bears in the office or like being frustrated, once I like calm down and center myself, but that's what helps me get beyond those days. Yeah.
Amazing question.
Y'all, she's dope. That's my supervisor.
She is. She is. She really is. So any last minute? So I want folks to know who you guys are. Share who you are, like your name, and then if you want folks to connect with you, how can they connect with you?
Okay, so I'm gonna start. My name is Sophie Valdez. I am 60 years old, attending Vallejo High School. Go Redhawks! And I migrated from Michoacan, Mexico, and bilingual, proud of it. You guys could reach me on Instagram, Sophie WLUV, at Sophie WLUV, Sophie with the F, not the PH. And yeah, guys, even within the community, you're gonna see me at meetings, events like these. I'll be there, so just make sure you say hi.
That's what's up. We're gonna have Sophie in the studio. We gotta bring her up to the studio.
I'm telling you, and she didn't want to do this. My name is Cassandra James, and I have the honor and the privilege of serving on the serving as supervisor on the Board of Supervisors for Solano County, representing the 1st District, Greater Vallejo, everything north of Georgia Street all the way up to Hiddenbrook. And you can get in touch with us via social media. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Threads. I can't think of the other one, but the handle is at Supervisor Cassandra, or feel free to email our office, crjames@solanocounty.gov. You can also give us a call, and we'll share that with the crew later, because I don't have the number off the top of my head. Or if you see me in the community, please feel free just to stop by the booth or stop me with whatever concern. And it's not just me. I always say it's our office, because I have 2 district reps, Tony Stewart, who is always in community, and also, again, Yoritza Cabo Martinez. Our office is bilingual in Spanish and English, and we don't mind coming to where you are. You don't always have to come to us. We will come to you.
I love it. Cassandra and Sophie, it has been an absolute pleasure. I always love, like I said, connecting with you, but to see an extension of you, this is amazing. Shout out to mom as well. But thank you, ladies, for what you're doing and what you're about to do. And I look forward to hearing more of you guys' story. Appreciate it. Absolutely. So stay tuned, guys. We got a couple more. We're here in the city of Vallejo, Taco Jalisco. And if Vallejo, stop by. We're here for the next couple hours, but we'll see you guys soon. We're still here, Vallejo, California. I'm excited to introduce my next guest. But before, if you've never come to Taco Jalisco's, this is my first time here. This is the place to be. A lot of amazing food. However, I have the honor of sitting next to a former mayor, Minna, vice mayor.
Vice Mayor, yes.
Vice Mayor Minna. So just met her, maybe 2 minutes ago. But I would like to have a very just organic conversation with you.
Sure.
But before we even get started, can you just kind of tell me a little bit of your story? I know you said you've been in Vallejo for a little bit, but tell me a little bit of your story.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to be here today. And I do agree with you. Tacos Jalisco has amazing food. So I don't mean to do a commercial right now, but they're amazing people and their food is delicious. So my name is Mina Loera Diaz, and I'm an immigrant born in Mexico. I came to the United States when I was 4 years old. And I've lived in Vallejo for over 40 years. Prior to that, I grew up in Crockett. And I just love my city. I love the city, and I've done a couple of things to make the city better. And one of them was about 20 years ago, I formed a group of people that together became a nonprofit, which was the Diaz and Loera Centro Latino. We do immigration workshops, naturalization clinics, know your rights, especially right now. It comes in handy. The second thing that I saw was that Latino kids were not graduating at the rates of other children. So 8 years ago, I founded and I directed the SER Latino program, which stands for Service, Education, and Resources. So what we do is we teach immigrant parents and Latino parents how to navigate the educational system, because it is different here than it is in Mexico and Central and South America. And the third thing that I saw that we did not have was representation at a government level, local government level. I wasn't a politician, and it was the last thing that I really wanted to do, because it's not something that everybody wakes up and wants to do. But I saw a need, and I ran, and I became one of the council members. In fact, I'm the first Latina Mexican council member and vice mayor in the city of Vallejo. Yeah, and my term just ended in January. I decided not to run again because I decided to go back to the biggest title that I could hold, other than being a mother, which is a grandmother. So right now, I watch my 3 grandkids, AJ, Emma, and Adi, and I'm a realtor. I mean, I sell homes and commercial buildings, and I'm happy. I'm content. I was on the council and I did the best that I could. And one thing that I promised myself and my family was that I was going to walk out of the council the day I left with my head held up high the way I walked in. And I did just that. I did exactly that. And it's a good feeling, because too many times, politics can be very dirty and very ugly. And people get wrapped up in stuff that they shouldn't. And I just feel that I held up to the way that I was brought up. And here we are. Now I'm just a normal person out there in the city, just loving Vallejo, because I do dearly love my city.
That is amazing. So there was like 1,000 questions that popped in my head that I want to ask you, because just through that a little bit of your journey that you share with me, in the midst of it was the word love, right? Like from you walking into office, like you said, with my head held high. I told my family when I exit, I will exit with my head held high. And so when it comes to, from your experience here in the city of Vallejo, what are some of the things that you've seen improve, in your years of being here in the city? Going back to the word love.
There's a lot of things that started to change the year that I got on council and the first council that was there with me. 2 years after I was in there was a change in the council members. We had 3 new council members that arrived. But one of the things that I'm really proud of is that I have a voice. I have a very strong voice, and I use it. And with that comes the love for the city. So when you start to call things out that have been wrong, you start to change in a more positive direction the way a city can go. So that's one of the things that I feel really good about. I was very transparent. I was very open to talking to everybody. I responded to everybody, treated everybody equally. And I think that that's important because, representation matters. Now, I'll take it a step further for the love of my people, for the love of the Latino people. One of the things that I accomplished was the fact that we were able to have now translation services. We've got the headsets because in the past that we've never had that. So when people would say to me, your people don't come to city council meeting, your people just don't come here. Well, would you go to a meeting in Chinese? You wouldn't go because you wouldn't be able to understand. And I think that in a city that has, 25, 26% Latino population, a lot of them Spanish speakers, that wasn't an option. That was a necessity. And I'm very happy for that. I think that I did a lot of great things with the youth. We used to get discretionary funds. I think they don't have that anymore. But for 2 consecutive years, I gave a certain amount of money to GVRD, and they put together a soccer program that brought in kids from all over Vallejo. And not just, people think soccer and they immediately think, it's the Latino folks that play soccer. No, soccer is the game. Soccer is the game right now, worldwide. And you have, boys and girls and all different, kids from different backgrounds that play together. And it felt really good to see kids competing in sports and getting to know each other that were from different areas of town. Because, when my kids were little, I live in East Vallejo, and they were in the East Vallejo Little League, baseball per se. Well, they were always going to play with East Vallejo kids. But with the soccer games that we did, you had kids coming in from North Vallejo, from the Crest, playing with kids from the South, West, and East. And that's how you build community. When you start to teach kids at a young age, to be able to get along with each other, to like each other, later on, I think we as adults really mess it up for them. We really genuinely do. And, for the time that I was on there, it was just great. Unfortunately, the discretionary funds were no longer around, so, we couldn't do that. But, I could go on and on. But I think that the main thing is treating people with respect, the respect that everybody deserves that they weren't getting.
That's amazing. I do want to ask you this question because it sounds like in the midst of that love, right? Like you had mentioned about your grandkids, like I'm a grandmother. What are some of the lessons or what are some of the things that you would like to instill in your grandkids being raised here in the city of Vallejo?
I always tell them when we go outside to take care of the city. We see so much blight and garbage and things around town that if you start teaching a child, to take pride in how they dress, take pride in what they do outside. I come from a very, very humble family. And my father used to say that when he was growing up, he had 2 pairs of overalls. And he said, and when I was wearing one, my mama used to wash the other one, and when it was on the clothesline. He said, so there's a difference between being poor and being dirty. You have to take pride in yourself as much as you can. And that doesn't mean that you have to buy X amount of things. No, but you teach them to take pride in their personal life, then they take pride in their city. That's important to me. Another thing that's equally as important is that they treat everybody with respect. And that they learn that they don't have to bow their head to anybody. Because that's important too. I will treat you with respect, but I expect the same thing back. And for my children, I teach them that that's the way things need to be. Because you cannot go out in life and just bow your head to everybody. And you cannot go around life being a bully. And, Vallejo, as beautiful as it is and as diverse as it is, it's got little cliques. It's got little clicks. And, sometimes it's heartbreaking because I think that's one of the things that has stopped us from really building community. Now, look where we are right now. When I heard about 707, week, I thought, well, let me look into that. And then Bianca from Tacos Jalisco called me and she explained to me what it was. And I thought, this is exactly the type of things that we need. Events where people go and have a chance to just sit down at a table with folks you don't even know and talk, have a conversation, get to know each other. We have more in common than we don't. And people don't understand that. People go around in little cliques, and we're not in high school. This isn't the cheerleaders and the football players, and I wasn't a cheerleader. I was nowhere being a cheerleader. So I really learned to just get along with everybody because of me, because I couldn't offer anything else to this world but who I am and what I was brought up to believe.
I love that. One of the guests that we had on not too long ago was Toby. He's the owner of Sharkies. And one of the things that we transitioned to talk about was how collaboration saves nations. And so, and that's what I got from your response. What inspired? Like, was there a individual that inspires you to become the woman that you are today?
Other than my parents, I live to honor my mom and my dad. They left everything behind, brought us here, taught us, to work. We came here not to take, we came here to contribute. So all glory goes to them. But there is one person that I will say, her name is Jan Watson. Jan Watson was my supervisor when I first started at the county in Contra Costa County. And I was young and I was naive and I had 3 little kids. And Jan was a person of compassion. She understood that if I called in sick or needed something, it wasn't because I was being lazy or didn't want to go in. It was because I had a legitimate reason. And that's all it takes to be able to get hardworking people. When you feel like somebody values your work and understands that you're a mother, because I am a mother over anything and everything, okay, and a grandmother. When you come across people that are good people, they really change your life. They change your life totally. And, I'm going to call her and ask her to watch this, but Jan, you really, really made a difference in my life. Jan Watson, I love you. You're good people. And thank you, because you shaped a lot of who I am today.
I appreciate you sharing that because I move off of love, right? I lead through a lens of love and compassion, and so it's always refreshing to see folks who held leadership positions or who are leaders to kind of acknowledge individuals that kind of help mold them into the individual that they are. So, any last minute thoughts or anything that you would like to share to folks who either reside in the city of Vallejo and or aspire to move here to build a community in the city of Vallejo?
Vallejo, unfortunately, too many times we get a bad reputation. And I'm going to ask folks that are looking at moving here or are currently living here to just do your best, because it takes all of us. Sometimes people say, well, I'm only one person. Well, you're one person of 125,000. So if everybody does their part, we are going to be in good shape. So all I can say is we have the most beautiful weather. We have amazing community. We have activists that are here. We have children that are worth gold. If you go to our schools, you will see children that are happy, that really like going to the schools. But unfortunately, the schools that sometimes have deteriorated a bit, but we're trying to bring those back to where they should be. And just don't give up. Don't give up, because you can't afford to give up. Those of us that have children, grandchildren, know very well what it takes to work to raise them well. Not everybody has the same opportunities. Not everybody has the same opportunities to do things with their kids. So if you're in a position where you could help, there's a lot of events out there. I mean, I think the next speaker is going to be Orlando from the Boys and Girls Empowerment. I love Orlando. I gave him shout outs every time I was on the council, because what he's doing is amazing. He's taking kids and giving them hope, keeping them busy. A child, that's all they need. So there is no room for giving up. There is no room for negativity. And if you have something negative to say about the city, bring your solutions. I said that when I was on the council. Run for council. I am one person that was not a politician. Run. Every single person out there, it doesn't take much. Get your campaign manager, get yourself a treasurer, get yourself some signs. But the main thing is what you have to have inside, which is integrity, and be truthful. and love the city and make your decisions based on your conscience. Because if you can go to sleep at night, then it's okay if people disagree with your vote. But if you can't sleep at night, then you better reevaluate the way you're voting, because that's not right. And one thing I do want to say, and I'll take this time to use it because I know that a lot of people are watching, pay attention to what's happening with the immigrant community. Pay attention, because a lot of people think that, oh, it's just them, it's not our issue, it's not our problem. It's going to be everybody's problem pretty soon. And we're getting people picked up that are U.S. citizens. We're getting kids snatched from the arms of a mother. People sending them to these alligator places that they're trying to put them away. Think about what you can do. I am mobilizing folks, and I will continue to do this because I've done this all my life. And if you want to work with me, I'm willing to work with anybody and everybody that has a heart for humanity, because this isn't a Mexican issue. It's not. This is a human rights issue. And from the moment that we're attacked, any person of color, any person of any gender, any person with a disability, the attack is on your right to exist. That's what those attacks are. And I think that's it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. The reason why I love it is because it seems like through your experience and through your lens as a leader, right, you've been able to counterbalance the lenses of both personally and professionally, right? Grandma, mother, love, compassion, while also still not being afraid to have a voice and encourage and empower people to not just be in their community, but be in their community. So it's been an absolute pleasure. I appreciate the opportunity to connect with you. And I know it was very short, but I look forward to the future that your grandkids will be living because of the leader that what your current priority is, and instilling in them the values through which you've experienced. So thank you for everything that you've done, and thank you for what you're about to do and leaving a legacy through your grandkids.
Thank you, and I really enjoyed this interview. You made it very easy. I'm not going to lie, I was a little nervous, and I don't get nervous often. I have, I'm a talker, but I thought, okay, well, let's see how we're going to do this. Usually I have notes, but you made it very, like the conversations that we would have in the kitchen with mi abuelita, growing up, where it's just, putting your soul out there and saying what you've done and what you intend to do and getting support from the familia. Well, this is the familia. Vallejo is a familia. And if we start acting like it, a familia is strong. You have roots, and those roots hold you strong when the winds come to try and knock you down. So gracias.
Gracias. De nada. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Taco Tuesday and Talk here in Vallejo, California. I'm with special guests with the grandkids, Mr. Orlando Graham, Boys and Girls Empowerment Group. How you doing, Orlando?
I'm doing wonderful.
Yeah.
Just a little tired from the day, dealing with the kids all day and having fun and different things like that. So in our summer program.
Love it, love it, love it. Can you speak into the microphone a little bit? But so with that, so who are the special guests to your left?
My granddaughter, Katie, my grandson, Carter. Say hi.
Hello. Hello.
Good to have you guys on. So Orlando, you are born and raised Vallejo, California.
Yes.
Right. And so you're part of the Boys and Girls Empowerment Group. And so take us back 20, 30 years ago. What did the city of Vallejo look like?
It looked like a big fun place to be. 20, 30 years ago, I just having fun. It's just about having fun. I talk about that fun because it was just a fast part of my life at that time. And everywhere in Vallejo, you always can have something going on and something active. Even with the Omega Boys and Girls Club, it was activeness. It was something going on for the kids and stuff like that. So that's what brings me here today.
I love it. And I know, so I have 4 kids myself, but, seeing your grandkids, I know one of the things kids enjoy doing is having fun, right? And so what inspired you or what connected you or drove you to want to be a part of the Boys and Girls Empowerment Group?
So basically what it is that most kids can't afford anything. I started a basketball tournament back in 98, and I was going to charge the kid $5. And one of the kids said his mama wasn't going to pay $5. So right then at that moment, I knew that I could afford that basketball tournament. So I did it for free. I told that little kid that it was for free. And everything since then has been for free from our organization. And I think I started the Boys and Girls Empowerment Group in 2021, finally getting a nonprofit after doing the work for almost 20, 30 years.
Yeah. So for those that may not know what the Boys and Girls Empowerment Group is, can you talk a little bit about that?
So just to talk a little bit about it, it's basically based on whatever kids needs. Every holiday, every back to school, doing fishing trips, mentoring them and talking to them and leading them in the right direction. We even have a food bank down there just, to tackle the food insecurities around. Just something to be around kids and make the kids happy, make them, feel like they're wanted and stuff like that. It's not anything else, but just making them feel wanted. That's what I think it is.
I love that. I know, I'm originally from Philly. And so one of the good memories I have as a kid is going to one of the community centers, right? And taking advantage of, or not taking advantage of that enough as a youth. Like looking back, that's one of the stories I share with my kids. Like I wish that I would have taken advantage of being in close group of individuals who just wanted to have fun, right? And just kind of like the overall mission of those community centers, right? Because generally you have those OGs, got a lot of knowledge, a lot of love, and they just want to be around, the youth and take them under their wing. And so, with all of that, what are some principles that you are instilling in not only your grandkids but some of the youth that are a part of the Boys and Girls Empowerment Group?
Just the principles really is just respect. We want to be able to respect the adults, because we don't have a lot of respect going on for these adults at this time. So what we're doing is, even at the Boys Club, the Boys and Girls Empowerment Group, we're sitting there and we're talking to them, and we're pushing that respect aspect, because if you have respect and integrity, then you're going to go a long way in this world. So we want to make sure that these kids respect one another and also respect the adults that's out there. So that's what we're doing. That respect is high.
So being from the city of Vallejo, why is it important for the Boys and Girls Empowerment Group to succeed in this city?
Well, the reason is because we don't have a boys club anymore. So when the boys club closed down, and when I finally realized the boys club closed down, it was like, what can we do to bring something back that it's still, even though the last boys club founder was Fillmore Graham, no relation, but I want to piggyback and go off the things that he had going on, because he put a lot of stuff inside of us, not me going in the right direction in the beginning, but everything that he instilled in me stayed in my mind, so I could open up a boys club and do the things that I can for the community and things like that. So it's it's very vital that we have these boys club, and it's very vital that we have the community behind us. I mean, even if we don't, like telling people the other day, they took $800 million away from Boys and Girls Club, and one of my things was not going to affect me because we don't get that money anyway. We're self-funded, so we want to make sure that who's going to do the work when that money is gone. Which one of them organizations is going to fold? We're not going to fold because we're not getting that money from the government. We're getting our money from our community. Our community respects me, and they know what I'm doing, and they back me. So that's how we're doing. We got a field trip this weekend. Field trip probably gonna cost about $2,000. Boys and Girls Department Group is not gonna probably spend any money on it, only but our insurance, because somebody's gonna fund that trip for us. So that's how we do it.
I love it. I love it. So 707 week, when you first heard about 707 week and it taking place and being or piloted here in Vallejo, like what were some of the thoughts that crossed through your mind?
First, I'll keep it real. I said they're doing 707 up in Fairfield, and it's the bomb. What they doing up there, they doing a good job up there, and they do it every year, and it's packed and family orientated. It's real nice. So when they said they're gonna do it down here, I'm like, man, what y'all doing? Y'all trying to copy? What's going on? But no, it wasn't a copy thing. It's a whole different thing. It's highlighting different businesses and different organizations and stuff like that. So that right there is just smooth. I like it and I appreciate it.
That's good. I mean, I think from the outside looking in, it's been pretty cool to see the community come together and, create a week long of events to where they can bring community together, bring folks from not even just Vallejo, like folks from outside of Vallejo into the city to showcase the love and the talent and the businesses here. So speaking of businesses, so we're at Taco Jalisco, right? Have you eaten here? So you've been here.
Yeah, this is my spot.
Okay. So what do you normally order? What's your go-to order here at this restaurant?
I eat the same thing I ate today. The enchilada with the black beans, chicken enchilada with the black beans, and that's what I come in. I come in and the fish taco. I eat the fish taco, but I come in here all the time, and I say I'm gonna get something different, and every time I just go right back to my.
I love it.
Enchilada.
So I've been hearing about this green sauce here.
Yes.
Have you tasted that?
Yes.
Okay. It seems like it's people's go-to.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Green sauce.
Yeah. No, that's amazing, man. It's been it was cool seeing your grandkids in the beginning of this interview. What are some things that you would like to say to the next generation, right? Because we as being older, we've experienced life, and I can tell that you have a lot of love for what you do, and starting the Boys and Girls Empowerment Group. Like, what are some things that you would want to share with the next generation?
I've been sharing that we need to be looking at our future. The kids are our future, so I always say we need to build in them and just keep pouring into them. And I know we can't touch every one of them, but we got to pour into these kids because they are our future. So I want to make sure that everyone knows that this is our future, and the only way we can make it if we instill the good stuff in them and keep on going. Because if we don't, we're gonna be up for bad time. And now we just like the midnight basketball thing. That's good. whatever we got good, we need to keep stuff going. The 707 week, as long as it's not one day, you can bring your kids, you can do all this stuff. It's getting better and better as it goes through the week. So just stuff like this is showing them that there are people out there that care and that we're going to keep on moving forward and doing things. That's the best thing we can do. Just keep on instilling this in them and keep it going. 'Cause if we don't, we're going to be headed for disaster. But when they see a community coming together like this, it's going to be a lot better. Then they're going to think they can do the same thing.
And what does that mean to you, like seeing the city come together, like from previous events to even this week? And it's like it built up a lot of momentum. What does this mean for you being from Vallejo?
So it means that we're trying to do some unity, and that's what we need in unity. On my shirt here, you can see it say building a community together. So I'm down for whatever Blair was going with. If we're going to do this, we have to do it together. It can't be just one. I'm on that page of it takes a village, and when it takes a village, hey, that's all of us. If we build this community together, we're going to rock. We're going to rock.
Powerful things happen in unity.
Yes, it does.
Well, Orlando, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate
you.
Yeah. Do me a favor. I don't have grandkids, but if you could, speak to your grandkids, right? The future versions of them, right? If you could look in the camera and just say, 10 to 30 seconds to share a quick message.
So I tell my grandkids now, because I have a 16-year-old. I tell her, I say, you model your boyfriend after your grandfather. If you don't think he's up to the standards of your grandfather, then you pass along. You model your life after somebody real positive. Even if it's not your grandfather, if it's somebody else, I want you to model your life after somebody that's doing some positive things. You know, Only way we're gonna get there if they're around positivity. The negativity stuff has to stop, and we need to keep moving.
I love it. Any last minute thoughts or comments?
No, I appreciate you guys. I'm wishing nothing but success for the 707 week, and that's all I need to say.
There you go. So Orlando Graham, Boys and Girls Empowerment Group, Voices of Vallejo, Taco Tuesday and Talk here at Taco Jalisco, Vallejo. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you connect with Orlando and the Boys and Girls Empowerment Club.
All right.
What's going on, guys? Hey, listen, it has been a very energetic and amazing day here in Vallejo. I'm sitting here next to Kyria and Fatima. We've been talking about 707 week, but more importantly, like what it represents beyond just a series of events. And so, anyway, with that being said, speaking of events, you two ladies have an event coming up this week.
Yes, this Sunday at Bambino's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Y'all come on down for Books and Brunch. Books and Brunch is about really uplifting self-published authors, right? Providing ourselves a space where we can connect with community, we can engage, and really bring an exposure to the establishment as well. I wrote a book called Resilient Voices, which is a compilation of inspirational quotes, best practices, and community voices.
They didn't tell me I was sitting next to an author. Oh, go ahead.
And I'm the author of I'm about to say my business, I maintain. But my book is called I'm Tired of Being Toxic. It's self-journey and transformation. It's just a variety of different tools that I use when I saw that I was a problem within my own life, right? And when you are a problem in your life, then it escalates all around you. So yeah, so I provided this book in order to provide all these tools for people in order to help them.
So this event today specifically is called Voices of Vallejo. And so, like, as a author, right, like, what inspired you guys to have a voice, right, and publish that voice?
Yeah, no, thank you for asking that. So I have a business called Career Speaks Incorporated, which is a public speaking platform that provides tangible tools for folks to get uplifted, to get out in their neighborhoods, to make change with what they got working with. You know what I mean? Learn how to make partnerships, private and public sectors, to really get things going within the neighborhoods of where you live, you work, and you play. So writing a book was a way for me to expand my brand, to expand my message, to ensure that the message continues to reach globally, these best practices and tools on how to really get things done in your communities.
Love it. I love it.
For my voice, I'm an introvert. Surprisingly, I'm an introvert, and I wanted my voice to be heard. Right? You know, it's only my perception is my only perception. So someone out there needs to hear from me, and that's why I wrote this book. I just wrote it for, like Kyra said, the community. Just trying to show these different tools for us, so we can be able to help us.
So what? So you guys have the event coming up.
Yes.
And what is it titled again?
Books and Brunch, baby. You grab a book, grab a bite, and catch a vibe.
That sounds like a commercial. Y'all got to do a commercial.
Yes.
So with Books and Brunch, what made you guys come up with that?
So Books and Brunch, and thank you again. This is amazing. So I have a partner. His name is Aesop Winston. Shout out to Aesop Winston Sr., who is also an author. Aesop and we wrote through just that, being out, talking to each other about our books. He calls me up one day and say, so what you think about doing Books and Brunch? I said, of course, that sounds amazing. I was really excited because this is a way to actually fund my tour. Resilient Voices is currently on tour, baby. So it's extremely exciting. It's a way, and like I said, it was a way for us to really push our books out there, really a way to connect with community, to let people know that we are here, that this book is here, and this is a way for us to continue to connect. So when I got the call from Shay, like, hey, shout out to Shay. We want to bring Books and Brunch to Vallejo for 707 week. I was ecstatic. Vallejo is now my home. I'm originally from East Oakland, but to be able to bring these sorts of ideas and creating this type of community collaboration is something we are very, very proud of doing.
So one of the consistent thing that I've been hearing is about collaboration. And so what was it about the two of you linking up to collaborate to do this event?
Yeah, well, for this,
she's like, I'm an introvert.
For this, there's actually 5 or 6 other authors that are going to be a part of this event. Mr. Aesop will be there with his book, but the collaboration is huge, my people. That is actually one big step of marketing. That's a way that you can actually get exposed to different audiences. It's a way for you to swap ideas. It's a way for you to grow, and vice versa. So the collaboration is one huge marketing tool that I've been using ever since I published the book. Even in my book, I include 4 other interviews from 4 other community leaders, because it's that collaboration is what's really going to push us all forward.
No, you bring up a really good point too, because I think that what I've heard kind of two sides today when it comes to Vallejo. I've heard consistently like, hey, we have a bad rep, as far as Vallejo. But then on the other side of that coin, I've been hearing a lot of passion, a lot of desire, ideas, creativity, etc. And so for you guys to drive in the importance of collaboration, I think is important for that be one of the messages that people take as far as like, hey, if I am here in the city of Vallejo and I have a talent or I bring whatever to the table, how important it is to find other creatives in this city to collaborate to take the city to the next level. Right.
One thing that I always say, like I believe in this Voltron thing, right? Understanding that we all have our own superpower, and that's why the importance of collaboration. Because when we come together, we form this big superpower hero situation, and it's important. Like it's important. Collaboration is very important because you have a different perspective. You're able to have that special like skill that other person has that you may not have, and it just brings so much good things together.
There's something to be said about the energy in Vallejo. Like everyone that I've met today, like the energy has been amazing, right? You know what I mean? Like you can tell that there's so much that they want to give to the city and they want to help elevate the city. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, absolutely. We are at the point of where we want to create the lives that we want to live in, right? We want to create the quality of life that we believe in. We want to create the type of environments that we want to thrive in. We want to make sure that we're the ones, although we may lean on city leaders to do things like the proclamation or to get access to certain things, but we're the one with the ideas and the planning and the organizing and the implementation to push that forward. That was a huge part of us coming together for 707 Week. We're not here just saying, complaining about what's not going on. No, we're here really honing in into the talents, to the businesses, to the services that are already coming and just finding ways for that to just connect, collide, and thrive.
That's what's up. So what can people expect at the event?
Yeah, so like I said, y'all can grab a book, grab a bite, and catch a vibe. So we're going to be there showcasing our books. We're going to be there talking about the publishing process for folks who want to understand about self-publishing. We're going to be there to connect you with other type of folks who may be in the room. It's going to be a space where you can network. We have Shadi. He's going to be there DJing with some tunes. So it's really going to be a community-driven, fun little. It's me. I'm gonna do a little turn up. You already know. So it's going to be a lot of that here, and it's going to be about sharing best practices, right? So really, how do we get to this level, and how do we maintain it?
I will say that is what I believe communities need is the sharing of the best practices. Like, so I'm originally from Philly, and so one of the things that we lack, or that when I was growing up there, that we lacked is the being exposed to the blueprints. You know what I mean? And it's like I feel like in inner cities like that, such as the Phillies and the Vallejos and other in East Oaklands, we have to at some point break that cycle and break that mold to rebuild a firm foundation so that the next generation there is hope. You know what I'm saying? So, but good.
Yes. Oh no. What? Did you have a question for me?
So as far as what can people expect from your perspective at the event?
Oh,
I know she said
a good vibe. Yeah. Food is great food, good vibes there, and just being in community, right? Just being in community, and especially just listening to all these different authors. Oh my gosh, with all these different amazing books. So I'm excited.
That's cool.
Yeah, come get inspired, y'all. It's going to be an inspirational space. Whatever you may be thinking, whatever hot idea you may have next, this is going to inspire you to go ahead and take that leap.
Yeah, no, it's cool to see. You don't see too many like book and brunch events. You know what I mean? So like to inspire, to not only like give them practical principles on how you can become a published author, but come and experience a positive vibe. And also, and I don't know if is there an age limit or is it just open to the community?
Everybody can come.
Okay.
It's all ages.
Yeah. And that's what's dope about this.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it's all
Like
ages.
with reading not being as popular,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's cool that you guys are still creating that space to show them that it's still cool.
It is. It's still cool. And we want to shout out the Solano Book Society. They are hosting it. They grabbed us all together. They created a little structure for us. So shout out to Solano Book Society for partnering with us and all the other authors that are going to be there.
And Bambinos, because that's where we having the brunch at.
And that's the huge part of the collaboration. For sure. Shout out Bambinos. You're the brunch.
Shout out to Bambinos for sure. I'm learning more and more that I have to get around Vallejo and try these amazing spots. This is my first time here, but I've been hearing about this spot for like the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna definitely grab a bite to eat here. I'm gonna be in Bambino soon. Okay. But no, this is cool. So any last minute thoughts or how can folks connect with you guys?
All right. So, of course, y'all, make sure y'all follow make sure you follow at 707 Week on Instagram. Check out the website at 707week.com. You can follow me at Kyria Speaks. That's KHARIYYAH on Instagram.
Oh, and you can find me at I Maintain with Fatima on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. My website is www.imaintainwithfatima.com.
And any last words? Of course, right? We're here to inspire. We're here to uplift. We're here to connect and collaborate on a level, like you said, that is lasting generations. We're here to change your culture, to ensure that we know that you're working that 9 to 5. We know that you got them kids to pick up from home, but bring your children with you. Come outside, meet a neighbor, shake a hand, meet a friend, right?
Yeah.
And then understand what type of resources are actually here for you. You don't have to do this alone, y'all. You got community, you got a village, and that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take for us to thrive within this society and create a better quality of life for all of us.
Vallejo, stand up. But with all that said, I appreciate you guys' time. Appreciate Taco Jalisco's here in the city of Vallejo, hosting a spot, sponsoring this Taco Tuesday and Talk, Voices of Vallejo. Ladies, you guys have amazing voices, and I hope that you continue to build off of the foundation that you guys have already set. And I look forward to connecting with you guys more.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys for tuning in on the live. Stay connected with all the amazing, speakers that we had today. Feel free to comment in the section. Follow us at L3 Media. We're located in Fairfield, California, but today